Hello. Think I'm live? Yes, I am. All right. Uh, Alexa, set a 30-minute timer.
Good morning, Ryan. 30 minutes, starting now.
Here we go. Yes. It has been a while since I've streamed, because I've been pretty busy. Last week I was on my second anniversary trip. Ooh, that's new. Um, and yeah, had a lot of fun with that. And then when I got home on Thursday, I was so busy that I couldn't stream. Same with Friday. Oh, should probably, yeah. Here, let me fill this out. Good morning, Big Bat. Okay, so I am a little bit nervous for later because I have a meeting at 1 p.m. with my biggest client, my big, reliable main client, and a change that I was involved in yesterday ended up creating an issue uh, at the business today. So I am, I would say, responsible for that mistake. So let me explain what it is, and then maybe you can give me your opinion, Big Bat, on whether it's my fault or not. So, there's a gentleman who okay, basically, I was making a script to automate something at the company, and then there was a gentleman that identified because I'm only a coder. I don't do the implementation. So I was working with a gentleman to test the implementation, like the deploying in the company, in the development environment, and he identified an issue, uh, but didn't pass along the issue, and then there were some, different opinions on when it should get deployed. And anyway, the decision was made not by me to deploy it yesterday before this gentleman had a chance to pass on the information of the issue that he found. And I was like, okay, well, he has this information, but I'm sure we can figure it out ourselves. And we did. We found the issue that he was talking about, and then we came up with a potential solution, and then tested the solution, and it seemed to work fine. But there was a small oversight in that the change that we made accidentally overwrote another change, or basically a different setting that made uh, Office apps not start properly. So when everyone showed up this morning, um, they couldn't open their email in the app, and whatever other Office apps that they use. And it sounds like it's creating a bit of a storm there, like something that IT has been working on all morning. So I feel somewhat responsible because I said, all right, this is the solution, this is what we need to enable. Um, but not being a deployment guy, I didn't know everything involved with the policy, with the setting that was tweaked. I didn't know that it would override something else. And, I'll stand by it. I'm a little nervous for the meeting later, because I feel like I may get blamed for it, and especially the gentleman that did recognize the problem. He may say, "Oh, well, if you just waited for me," but it wasn't my decision. Like, it wasn't my decision to do it without this guy. Um, but I did Google the solution, and then I proposed it saying, "Hey, this is what I found on the internet. Do you want to do this?" And then the guy said yes. So, like, that wasn't my decision either. But I'm the one who recommended it, so that I have some responsibility there. I don't know. I'm just a little nervous later for how the meeting is going to go, because I can see the other gentleman being upset that we kind of went on without him. But the good news is, hopefully everything will get sorted out. I am aware of the fix for the problem, and it's a fine fix for the problem. Like I said, it's just when we made the change, when IT made the change, another setting got overwritten, and no one could have known that. So, yeah. Basically, just nervous, like I said, how it'll go. I don't know what the environment in the room is going to be like. Like, maybe it's going to be thank you, Ryan, for, like, pushing us forward, and we came up with, we had this issue, but, you know, the solution is going to save us time later, so it's okay that we had this issue this morning. Like, I don't know how it's going to go. Big Bat says, lag on my side is horrible, this is not your fault, they should have waited to deploy, and they should have double-checked the code. Yeah, I also get well, actually, the code, there was no problem with my code. It was just a configuration issue on the Windows environment that I'm not familiar with. And I told them as much, like, hey, this isn't my expertise. This is what the other guy said he found a problem. We don't know what the problem he found was, but we can probably figure it out. And like I said, to be fair, we did, but it had an unintended consequence. And I just wish that the other guy told us what the problem was. Like, he could have sent it in an email. He didn't have to, you know, be there at the meeting, which he unfortunately wasn't able to make. But yeah, like I said, I didn't literally do anything wrong, but I feel like I may get blamed. And I think that's, you know, that's just something that comes with the business, and especially when you have a mindset of, you know, move fast. Moving fast is more important than sometimes making the right decision. Like, you don't want to be so cautious that you never do anything wrong, because if you're not doing anything wrong, then you're probably not doing enough. So all that to say, yeah, kind of nervous for that meeting later. What do I want to do on the server while I'm here? I don't really have too much in mind to do. Maybe I could work on my train. That could be cool. Oh, my backpack's full. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if my story makes sense, but basically I didn't literally make the mistake. I didn't literally make the mistake, but I did recommend the solution. And, you know, technically it's on them for not double checking, but I could have also double checked. They also decided to make the change roll out to everyone instead of just a select couple of people, you know, for testing purposes. So that wasn't my decision. But, you know, like I said, I made the recommendation. I made it sound like I was confident to go forward without this other gentleman, which, again, also wasn't my decision. I was basically told, hey, we're doing it without this guy. Are you able to meet on Sunday? And I said, yes, I'll be there on Sunday and we'll do our best. So, like, you know, I've never had a bad situation with the people in this call later. So hopefully they'll just be, you know, like, oh, I guess we all learned something today, you know. And then they won't blame me or be mad at me or anything. But I can see that this guy that we ended up doing it without, he might be a little upset. And he's like, he's very, like, nothing wrong with this, but very old school, very, like, test it 10 times before you try anything. And he may say, like, Ryan was totally out of line by doing this. But I'm like, I didn't do anything, and you could have just emailed it. Yeah, I'm meeting them. No, yesterday was the meeting where we ended up making that change. But then today I have a meeting with them at 1. So that's in about that's in exactly an hour. And this is like the bigger meeting where like everyone gets together and discusses problems, and I am 100% sure that the problem that I'm related to will come up. Like I said, related to, because I didn't necessarily cause it. I just made a recommendation without full context. So, yeah, like I said, they've generally been pretty gracious in the past, so maybe this will be another example of them being okay with, the mistake. And it, like I said, it wasn't even my mistake, but I do know that it's easy to blame the new guy. Like, oh, this was his fault, he, like, didn't research enough or whatever, so, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's just a common case of, nobody's fault. But then when it causes downtime, there, like, typically needs to be a person responsible. And I just wonder if it's gonna be me. Big Bet says, oh, then I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure they're just going to say that you have the full job. Well, his job. No, that's... Well, I think that's kind of the actual intention with hiring me, is to kind of get me up to speed on what this other guy does. Because he's been with the company a long time. He's a contractor. And he has a lot of the knowledge just in his own head. And that's not good for a business, for risk management purposes. He's a great guy. He's very methodical, and yeah, he's fine to work with, but he just wasn't able to make the time requirement of the business, unfortunately. And that's why he wasn't there. Not his fault. In fact, he suggested pushing it back to Wednesday, but the business decided not to. So, it's kind of just a perfect storm, and I, like I said, made a recommendation that didn't end up panning out properly with full context. Anyway, now I've got my food stocked up. Let's see what I can do on the train system. And Big Bat, how is your week? And how is your day going so far? We need a better, this cave needs to be better. Alright, where would I want this train track to go? I think it could be cool. If there was a bigger train station here. So why don't I work on that? And then I can decide on the rest. So here's, what I do for inspiration. Here, first of all, let me take this tree down. Ooh, I like that a lot. I saw that earlier, but I'm just now realizing how cool it looks. That was a tall tree. Alright, what if there was a train station right here? So let me go in third person. Actually, let me move the train back. Alright. Now, what if this was a train station? So I'll do a screenshot and I'll put it into ChatGPT. Wish I had the time to, do my own inspiration, but I don't, and I'm not creative enough right now. Yeah, I'm just in a different tab. You're currently stuck on the side of the road in a work truck with a flat tire. Oh no. That's not very good. Oh, thought my game was gonna crash there. Just moving this. Alright. I don't know, man. I think it would look really cool. But maybe, would it be alright if I moved the cactus farm? Well, I don't need to do that yet, but in case I did. Oh, you said you just recently found out that your office is moving to a different city, which would cause me to have a 45-minute drive in traffic, so you have to find a new job. No. Oh, that's so annoying. That's more than annoying. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, I love this. This, ChatGPT sketch is awesome. Holy cow. I want to build this. Can I show this? I don't know how I can show this. Copy image link. Can you see this? Wait. No. Oh, the cactus farm is for hard hat. Gotcha. Hold on. I don't know how to do this. That's different. Well, how do I show this? How do I show this? Download, save. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that great? I want to build that. Obviously, the perspective is wrong, but I like the idea. I do like the clock idea with the different pillars and things. I'm going to build it. I'm going to do my best to build that. And that starts with me opening it on my other screen. Downloads, images. There we go. All right. Let's see, where do I even start? I would love to build this in a creative world, but unfortunately I don't have a, download of this. I wish this line was further over this way, but I can move that later, I think. So what I want to do is just sketch out the rough shape. I'm going to do that in stone bricks. Oh, I can move the sugarcane farm? I may, but we'll see if I need to. Alright, so if I want this to be... Where do I want the forwardmost track to be? Maybe here? And how big should I make the trains? This is hard. Okay, well, first of all, can this go through blocks? Well, I already know it can, so that's fine. So why don't... Well... It's so hard to decide when to place the first block. These are going to need to turn somewhere here. Maybe go up through here? I don't know where we want it to go from here, so why don't I just start placing blocks and then trust the process. So if I have a track here, that's probably too close. Let me think. I can have a track here, reachable, and then let's say a middle platform. No, wait. A track here. A track here. A middle platform. So this is probably going to have to move. And the middle platform should be what, maybe 5 blocks wide? Well, hold on. How's it doing it in the picture? Oh, I don't necessarily like that. Well, how would a real train station do it? It would probably have side platform, middle platform, and then another side platform. So I'm going to do it that way. We're going to make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. Which means the next track goes here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Seven wide. And then let's say another track here. And this can be where mine ends up eventually. So this can go like that. Ow. Hey, you. Stop that. Okay. This I probably want to be stairs. Something like that. If that makes sense. Well, the edge of the platform is going to be different, so that's fine. I can just start it like this. Let's go out one more, and then here. Ow. Okay, something like this. And then I'll repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's my stuff. I was like, whose stuff is this? Oh, it's mine. Why don't I sleep? I'm about to run out of time, aren't I? Do I have tape on me? Yes, I do. Oh. Never mind. All right. Now, do I have maple? Just a little bit. Jason says, speaking of sleeping, somehow the player sleeping percentage game rule got messed up. I'm not sure it's been amended yet. Oh, what should it be? What did it used to be? What did the percentage used to be? I don't remember. Oh, Alexa. Stop. Yeah, it requires 100% right now, but what should it be? Well, let me put it to 15% for now. That should help. I don't think I like this being maple on the edge, and now I kind of wish I didn't turn it all into stairs. I liked it as the stone brick stairs. Oops. Okay. So there's that. Whoops. Can this push in from the side? I don't think so. Now I'm out of maple. No. Does blue team potentially have a thing I could use? Tree farm? Maybe not. This is red team's idea of a tree farm, by the way. I guess I could make one, I've just not done so. What time is it? Alexa, set a 10-minute timer.
10 minutes, starting now.
I'll allow it. I need to relax before my stressful meeting. You have a tree contraption? Ooh, well, I'm not gonna use it. Because that's icky. It's blue. It's got blue stuff all over it. But in all seriousness, that is very cool. I just don't think I need that much, actually, as I thought. Alright. Even if you would let me use it. I don't even know if you would. Let's see. Finish that. You know you can plant many side by side and do it in a long line, right? You can do that with a single saw? I'm gonna have to try this now. Whoops. Okay, and there goes all my bone meal. Bad example, probably. Very interesting. No, I did not know that. That's pretty cool. All right, there's those platforms. Now I want to get some pillars going. Maybe not exactly like that, but that's fine. Hmm. I don't know. Double them up like the big trees and break the one block and the whole should fall. Yeah, I've done big trees. Maybe I don't want it that tall, actually. Or maybe this can be a different block. Like maybe... train casing, that would be expensive. Maybe it could be polished basalt. Nope, that's not what I meant. Well, that's fine. I don't know, just for now. Sleepy time. Okay. Now, I guess time to start working on this back area, which is definitely going to be the harder part. So, I don't know where to start. Um, maybe I could start with how high to go. So let's go like that. I think that feels about right. And then we need another one. That needs to go in further, I think. Oh, I really like... Okay, I'm changing something to match more how the inspiration screenshot looks. Because I want there to be 3 tunnels. And to do that, we need a... Well, this is gonna be the side of this platform. And then this should probably be maybe 3 blocks wide, and then another one here, and then another one here. That doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? It's just too wide. So if I wanted this to be 5, which I think I do, I unfortunately need to move all this over by 2 blocks. Which means starting here. That's rough. Think it's worth it though. You know, when people suggest to the developers of Minecraft to, you know, just add backpacks, it'll solve all your storage needs. They should they should see my backpack usage, because it's not solving anything. I can just carry more stuff with me. You know, okay, that actually is kind of the solution we're looking for. But I digress. I digest. Have a great day. Good luck with your flat tire, and thank you for the meeting, or about the meeting. I hope it goes well too. Okay, great. Oh no, I'm out of time again. Alright, Alexa, stop. Don't remember actually how tall I just made this. Wish I did. Shoot. Maybe like that. And then what I'll do is it'll not exactly like this, but basically, it will go over to here. Oops. And then come down right here. And then do a similar thing. Well, actually, wait, no, I wanted it to come down here. And then this will come down similarly right here. Which will come down right here. And of course I'm out. Basalt. And I forget, how do you make this into... There we go. I feel like I'm using a pretty vanilla-centered palette, but that's alright. So that way, boom, it'll have 3 similar-sized openings. Cool. I'm starting to like how that looks. In fact, I could probably move this over one and it would be exactly same sized openings. But that is a problem for another day, as I have to go. My meeting's in 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. You know, I just said I was gonna go, but I'm not gone yet, which is weird. Why is that happening? I see the vision, and I don't want to stop seeing the vision. I wonder if I disassemble my train here, will it like attach? I don't know what would happen there. This also doesn't seem right. Yeah, right, because the train's supposed to be here. So let me actually move my train. Ow. Just got bonked by my train. I can remove much of this. Let's see if I can just attach it. Yeah. Just temporarily. Because eventually I'm probably going to want to make my train this one. Because all the other ones are probably going to have to go out from somewhere else. Alright, now let's back up. I also want to make this a double-sided train so I can drive it quickly in reverse. Alright, that's probably what it would look like. And maybe I'd want to make this copycat something so that it's not a full block sticking out. Alright, that's all from me for today. Thanks for watching, anyone. And yeah. Goodbye. I guess I need to stop the stream too, don't I? And stop stream.